BMW was born from this car. BMW grew thanks to this car.
I've never seen this much stitching. Even Louis Vuitton bags don't get this much stitching.
Because I believe this new generation is a new chapter for BMW. Alright guys, let's just admit one thing, alright? Let's just be honest with ourselves. When it's weekend, the first thing you feel like doing, especially in a sunny day, is going out in your coupe or cabriolet to the countryside. Here, I tell you all that unlike Mercedes and Audi, BMW had a unique birth and a unique way of expansion in their business, guys. Here's the thing I'm going to tell you all. So, listen very carefully. Mercedes was born from limousines. They grew from limousines and trucks and big vehicles. Basically, massive diesel engines. Audi, let's just face something, guys. Audi was born from, well, it's not very clear what exactly Audi specialized in, but they kind of grew because of Volkswagen's involvement. But BMW, they grew from something special, guys. They didn't grow from limousines. They didn't grow from massive diesel engines. Now, BMW had a very interesting history, but they only entered the automotive industry after World War II. And they started from small cars. Basically part of the mass market, guys. Their direct competitors would have been the likes of Opel and Volkswagen. However, in the 60s, or before the 60s, basically late in the 80s, they faced bankruptcy almost. There's one thing that saved their business, guys. The BMW 2002. I believe it's something like the BMW 2002. Whatever it was a small BMW sedan. And this was something that saved BMW's business, guys. And today, they have survived. And they have survived thanks to the grandson model right here, guys. I introduce you all to the BMW 2 Series, the all-new BMW 2 Series, guys. Before I get down with this review, I just want to quickly remark something to you all. In the automotive industry, the Germans never innovate, but they always take basics and they always aim for near perfection. They always want to take their standards very high. So whenever I see German cars like BMW, Mercedes and Audi, basically cars being taken to a level of near perfection. And this is evident with the interior, guys. When you study the interior very carefully, you'll notice majority of the times they tend to put things in logic locations. And this is something that made their business successful to this very day, guys. Their interiors were always logically laid out. Same for their engine. Their cars were easy to live with, easy to repair, and there was so little that could go wrong. So, this BMW 2 Series costs 52,000 euros. Is it good value for money or not? We're gonna find out in a moment, everyone. But before doing so, I would like to tell you all that when it comes to premium brands like BMW, Mercedes, Audi, Jaguar, you name it, it's very difficult for us to discuss about value for money. But when it comes to small models like the 2 Series, the 1 Series, the 3 Series, I believe that value for money is a valid question and a valid topic to discuss about. After all, BMW was born from this car. BMW grew thanks to this car. And now it's time to see if the legend still lives on.
Alrighty everyone, so this is the exterior design of the BMW 2 Series Coupe and I absolutely love it, guys. Alright, so this color is unique, rather nice. I like it. It pairs very well with the M kit theme. With the M theme. Okay, first of all, this is not the M version, but it does have the M kit to it. Now, these grills are very intelligent because at high speed, they do open for extra air intake. Whereas in slow speed, it's very good they shut, guys. So it does have this aesthetic appeal. You get an actual air vent right here and some additional air intake right underneath, guys. Very nice. Now let's just take one moment and admire the side view of this BMW 2 Series, guys. Looks absolutely stunning. I really like the design. In fact, over here, you see a strong sign of identity. Like, if you look at this corner in particular, it reminds me a little bit of the previous generation. Or it looks a bit like a 3 Series from this angle. Just like, if you look at it carefully, especially this sort of design. This is a real BMW thing. BMW has always had this, especially with the 5 Series, I've noticed. So it's quite good. And this wheel looks very good. I love this wheel. I actually first saw this on the 4 Series. It pairs very well with the BMW theme. I like how you get this proud elevation right on the middle of the bonnet, as if it was intended for a V8 engine. Well, I don't know what to think. I mean, I believe it was not very necessary, but then you all be the judge. In my opinion, it's not necessary, but aesthetically, it has a purpose, I believe. Oh, yes, you get those proud exhausts, everyone. Oh, yeah. And then you also get this wonderful rear light. Now, this rear light was actually something that confused me, because when I first saw this BMW on the road, I actually did not know it was a BMW, especially with this rear light. I actually thought for a second it was something Japanese or so. But then upon closer inspection, I realized it was the all-new BMW 2 Series the whole time. But I don't understand, what is it with this design? Why didn't BMW stick to the traditional BMW rear lights? Otherwise, I guess there is a sign of identity to some extent, because just don't pay attention to this red line. Pay attention to the figure, all right? This sort of shape you see right here, this oval-like shape. This is something BMW had with the 3 Series back in the 2000s, I believe. Since 2005 till 2012, I believe, something like that. In that era, BMW had a 3 Series with this rear light. So I think this is a reference to that era. I think so. Please excuse me if I'm wrong. Guys, whilst exploring the exterior of this BMW 2 Series, I couldn't help but point out how promising it looked, guys. First question aspect I would like to point out is that for a price of 52,000 euros, you do not get a 360-degree parking camera. You only get parking sensors at the front, a rear parking camera, and a rear parking sensor, but it's not a 360-degree parking camera. So I guess this is a common practice in the premium segment, but then at what cost, guys? There's some expectations I had for this BMW 2 Series. Alright guys, 52,000 euros, and you're given this beautiful body kit right here, alright? This nice, attractive body kit. But then, upon closer inspection, this huge thing right here, this is an air vent, right? This gap is an air vent. But this is just plastic that has no purpose whatsoever. Why exactly do you get a beautiful body kit for 52,000 euros and no air vent right there? I'm going to ask a lot of questions, guys. I mean, alright guys, time to explore the interior of this BMW 2 Series. Before I review this interior, I would just like to talk about the sound of the door whenever you close it. I like how solid the door sounds when you close it, because it gives a sense of security. It's like very well built and bold. Listen to this. You hear that? It's so solid. It's like entering a tank, guys. This is what I'm talking about. Germans aiming for near perfection. You don't really get this from many brands. Interior of the BMW 2 Series, guys, looks very, very nice. I think it's very promising, in my opinion. It looks quite appealing. And this is a typical BMW identity, how they have this whole thing tilt towards the driver's side. This has been with BMW since a very, very long time. This is a BMW identity. But I recall Volkswagen also had a similar thing going on with the Golf back in the 70s, I believe. So it's not very clear if it's a question of who started this, but it's more like, I guess, Volkswagen and BMW employed this because it was a practical thing to do, and I guess it would improve the driving pleasure. But BMW kind of kept on with this trend, whereas Volkswagen abandoned that trend for some time back in the 2000s, but then they revived that back in the mid 2010s again with the Polo, I believe, and the Golf as well. Now, one thing to remark is that I've noticed that BMW loves to give a lot of details to the leather seats, and it's evident with the countless amounts of stitching all over their seats. Wow, I've never seen this much stitching. Even Louis Vuitton bags don't get this much stitching. No, I'm joking, guys. No, but seriously, so you have the Alcantara in the middle, and then you have the leather on the side. It's very good, and I also have to admire the quality of the leather, by the way. Steering wheel is not bad at all. It's actually quite nice, but I feel like it's a little bit on the thick side, especially for a small vehicle like the 2 Series. I'd expect something a little bit thinner, like, yeah, something that's a bit easy to hold on to, because this is too thick that it's like holding... I mean, if this was an SUV, okay, that's understandable. Or if this was a sports car, okay, understandable. But for a 2 Series, you don't really need this size of steering wheel. I mean, the size is okay, but I'm talking about the thickness of the steering wheel. And then I like this decoration right here. It reminds me a little bit of a metro. It's like something you usually see at metro stations or something, at subways. So it's quite nice. It's very lively. You know, it's like kind of it has this youngster vibe about this. It's very nice. I believe it's optional. I'm not sure, guys. So speaking of presentation, let's get down to details, guys. So over here you have the infotainment system, and then you have the digital instrument cluster here. Over here you have the nice air vents. I really like the design of them. And then right here you have the climate controls. And then over here you have some basic media controls, guys. What sets BMW apart from Mercedes and Audi is this, guys. BMW is the only one out of the three that still sticks to physical buttons because they know what the old school car enthusiasts really want. They want something that keeps them connected to the road. They want to feel connection with the road. This area, guys, this is my favorite. I love the BMW swivel wheel. It looks very nice, very luxurious, and it's just comfortable, guys. Sit down, relax, and control whatever happens there with just the touch of your fingertips, guys. Look at this. Use just one finger to change the world. This is your nice gear stick. BMW has changed trends again. I really like it. I like the system right here. You get your start-stop button right there, and your parking brake right here, and your driving modes right here as well. Practicality is usually the last thing you think about when buying a vehicle from the premium market. But let's take a look at practicality solutions anyways, guys. So I would like to have a look over here. This bottle holder certainly does not look promising. It doesn't look like it's going to hold a big water bottle, but it looks good for a small water bottle. Storage space right here is okay for a coupe. I can understand what was going on. I wasn't expecting much, honestly, for the side storage. But now, when it comes to center storage, guys, let's think practicality. So, you get the center console storage, which is wide, but it's not deep enough. Now, let's think practicality again, guys. You get a nice storage space right underneath this trim. Over there, you get your storage. And then right here, you get 2 cup holders, a 12-volt socket, and a USB point right there. Oh, that's a plus. That's very generous. Wow, I like that. Okay, very nice. And I like how this nice leather is there because my leg is leaning onto this area, so it's, you know, it's good that it's leaning onto the leather instead. I like that. Okay, guys, I do not have high hopes, but let's just check out this nice glove box. Huh, okay, the glove box is as good as it has to be. I think it's good, yeah. It's not so spacious, but again, no high expectations anyways. And then also, if practicality was not enough, you have some extra storage right here, guys. It's quite deep. Wow, very nice. Now, I noticed BMW has a thing for this sort of design for all their cars. I even noticed this on the X5 and on the 7 Series. It would have been nicer if this was vertical, like not all round edged here, because it makes it look like a minivan or something. But then that's just my opinion. Whilst exploring the interior of this BMW 2 Series, I have to confess I was very impressed, but then at the same time I noticed some questionable aspects. The first questionable aspect I would like to point out is something I've noticed with other BMW models that have come out recently, namely the 4 Series as well. They have this huge trim right here. But then when you open it, it just doesn't look right that this whole thing opens and then remains exposed right here. It would have been more interesting if BMW kind of had this, you know, something different going on. Because, you know, this whole thing moves. Alright, you see what I mean, guys? It would have been more interesting if it was like a... well, I'm not sure. Perhaps like a sliding door or something? I don't know, because there's just something about this trim, guys. And by the way, this trim is nice, but then for a price of 52,000 euros, I would have expected something interesting. For a price of 52,000 euros, guys, you do not get electric seating adjustments. You get manual seating adjustments, and that's it. Yep, that's it, guys. Price of 52,000 euros, guys, and this was not enough. It seems as though this was intended for an extra option. If you do not pick that option, you get this bit of plastic that has no purpose. Yes. And then also, another thing I'd like to remark is that normally for a price of 52,000 euros, and let alone from a premium brand like BMW, you'd expect those window buttons and mirror controls to have a bit more detail. Maybe some brushed aluminum or perhaps some chrome touches or something, guys. But it's just hard plastic over here. 52,000 euros, guys, and there's not much going on up here. There's no sunroof, there's no storage up here. Over here is the boot space of the BMW 2 Series, guys, and I have to confess, I really like the details. Like, first of all, this is the first time I've seen this much detail going on. The mechanism for the door, wow, okay. All in one spot. Anyways, you get a nice beacon of hope hiding right there. This latch to pull those seats down. Very nice. And you get some tether points in the corner. You get a 12-volt socket. And the space of this boot is actually quite decent for a coupe, guys. I'm not going to complain about it. Yes, it's maybe not high enough, and this obstructs the entrance for a large object. But it's not a big deal, guys. It's very, very good in my opinion. I think it's, I like it. It's something you can appreciate, guys. Now, for a price of 52,000 euros, there's no solution to close this door. So, for example, like, you have to pull it from here, guys, but there's no electric button or something to pull the door closed. So I believe this is how you should close the door. Very gently, pull this with enough force, like this.
So here's my conclusion of the BMW 2 Series Coupe, guys. I have to confess, I was very impressed with the BMW 2 Series Coupe. It's a very promising debut by BMW, especially this new generation, because I believe this new generation is a new chapter for BMW. The previous generation BMW 2 Series Coupe was interesting, but it had this classic dated look about it. There were some changes that was needed, and BMW acknowledged this and they acted upon it. It was desirable, but it was dated. Now they have a new model right here. It's fresh, something different, something new, and something that's there to mark the new chapter. For a price of 52,000 euros, is this BMW 2 Series Coupe good value for money or not? Well, everyone, this is going to be a very interesting case right here, because I'm going to tell you all that when it comes to premium brands, premium cars, the topic of value for money is a very difficult topic to discuss about. But when premium brands offer small models like the 2 Series, the 1 Series, you start questioning what exactly is the purpose, because they want to compete. When a big player in the automotive industry like BMW comes up with a desirable coupe, how can you resist it, guys? Over to the topic of value for money. I believe this BMW 2 Series Coupe is between okay value for money and good value for money. The reason I'm saying this, guys, is because there's one thing that sets it apart from certain cars, and that is it has the status. It has the looks, guys. It has something. It looks like a movie star, guys. This looks like the kind of thing you'd see in Fast and Furious most of the times. So you know what I'm saying, guys? It has a bit of a status. It's kind of like a car that starts a stereotype. In fact, I'm going to be honest with you. Here in Belgium, this car actually has a stereotype, and I'm not going to say what it is. Yes, the reason I say okay value for money is that it is desirable, but then for its price, it did have some questionable aspects, like missing equipment. But then as for the rest, it's all for you to judge. So you want my opinion of this BMW 2 Series Coupe? Oh, I love it! I love this BMW 2 Series Coupe, guys. This BMW 2 Series Coupe is one of the best coupes in the automotive industry, one of the most promising coupes of all time. And I believe what sets the BMW apart is that BMW is one of the only brands to stick to their guns on coupes since the 1950s. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned for more videos that are on the run. And don't forget to check the links in the description for my car reviews and my travel videos. Bye!